Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all of you in our YouTube channel Gurmantra Siksha Ka Granth. I'm your educator Saranya and today we are going to learn about major histocompatibility complex in which we are going to study about MHC1 and MHC2, also about antigen processing and presentation. So the major histocompatibility complex is the large locus on vertebrate DNA containing a set of closely linked polymorphic genes. Basically, these are genes that will encode for certain surface proteins that are essential in our adaptive immune system. And this locus got its name because it was discovered during tissue compatibility during the transplantation process. The major histocompatibility complex is a tightly linked cluster of genes. So it is a cluster of genes. So if they ask you what is MHC, you should know that it is a cluster of genes that is present in every mammalian species. The MHC is referred to as HLA, human leukocytic antigen complex in humans, and H2 complex in mice. Okay, so MHC can be present in human and mice. If it is present in humans, it will be at chromosome 6 and it is called as HLA complex. And if it is present in mouse, it will be chromosome 17. Okay, it will be present in chromosome 17 and it is known as H2 complex. So the types of MHC are like MHC1, MHC2 and MHC3. 1 and 2 are involved in adaptive immunity where they will be interacting with the antigens, and MHC3 will be involved in the complement system. So what is the role of MHC? So it is helpful in the development of humoral mediated immunity and cell mediated immunity. Secondly, antigen recognition by T cells is mediated by MHC molecules, determining whether a transplanted tissue will be compatible. This can be known with the help of MHC, the compatibility between the tissues during transplantation. So the MHC genes and functions, it is collection of genes within a long stretch of DNA on the chromosome 6. So it will be a long stretch of DNA in chromosome 6 and has three classes. MHC class 1, this will encode glycoprotein that will be expressed on the surface of all the nucleated cells, which means the cells which will have nucleus. The major function of the class 1 gene product is the presentation of the antigen to the TC cells. So MHC1 will be presenting the antigens to the TC cells. The second class is MHC2. Here the glycoproteins will be expressed primarily on the APCs and MHC2 will be presenting its antigen to the TH cells. So MHC1 will present antigens to TC cells and MHC2 will present antigen to TH cells. The next class is MH3, MHC3 genes. So they will encode various proteins that will have immune functions like the component system, or they will be involved in inflammation reaction. The example of these type of proteins will be tumor necrosis factors and heat shock proteins. So the function of MHC is for cell-cell interaction between the APCs and the T cells, and it is present on APC, recognition of self and non-self antigen. It will be involved in cell-mediated immunity and humoral mediated immunity, and most importantly in tissue transplantation. So when we talk about types of MHC, the first one is MHC1. This is located on the surface of all the nucleated cells, and sometimes this will work as antigen presenting cell. The gene that will code for this MHC1 will be HLA-A, HLA-B and HLA-C. These are the genes that is coding for MHC1. If you see about the structure, it will have alpha chain. Three alpha chain will be present. Alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. You can see in the diagram here alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. So it has three alpha chains, and beta chains, it has beta 2 microglobulin chain. Okay, and it has a beta 2 microglobulin gene. and that will be non-covalently bounded to the alpha 3 subunit. So the antigen that will be presented by MHC1 will be endogenous in nature and its size will be 8 to 10 amino acids. The antigen binding site in MHC1 molecule is this. Between alpha 1 and alpha 2 is the antigen binding site, and for the T cell recognition to bind to the TC cells, alpha 3 site. So this is the site from where it will bind to the TC cells. So this is the site where it will bind to the TC cells which will have CD8 plus receptor that will bind to alpha 3 subunit. If this beta 2 microglobulin is defective, then MHC1 will not work. So this point you have to know. If this beta 2 region, if this beta 2 microglobulin which is non-covalently linked to the alpha 3 is defective, then MHC1 will not work. So this is all about MHC1. Next we are going to see is MHC2. This is also located on all the antigen presenting cells like B cell, macrophages and dendritic cells. The gene that code for this MHC2 will be HLA-DP, HLA-DR and HLA-DQ. Okay, if you talk about the structure, it will have one alpha chain. That alpha chain will consist of alpha 1 and alpha 2, and one beta chain will be there. It will be consisting of beta 1 and beta 2. Okay, so the interaction between them is non-covalent, and the type of antigen that will be presented through this MHC2 will be exogenous antigen. Exogenous antigen will be presented through MHC2, and that will be 13 to 18 amino acids. Okay, so MHC2 will present its antigen to T helper cells, and T helper cells will have CD4 plus marker on them, and these TH cells will interact with the MHC2 at this beta 2 location. So the beta 2 is the location where TH cells will interact by using CD4 marker, and the antigen binding site is between alpha 1 and beta 1. This is the antigen binding site. If antigen is not presented by MHC2, then TH cells cannot be able to identify the antigen. Okay. So this is class 1 and class 2 MHC. You can see here this is class 1. You have alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3 subunit and a transmembrane segment. You have beta 2 microglobulin region. Through this beta 2 microglobulin region is very important for the functioning of MHC class 1. So this is the antigen binding region, and through this you can see here in this diagram itself, through this alpha 3 subunit only the TC cells will be interacting. So this is class 2 molecule where you will have alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1 and beta 2 both are covalently linked with each other. Okay, so beta 2 is the subunit here which will be involved in interaction with the TH cells, that is T helper cells, and this is the antigen binding region. Antigen presentation will be given here. Antigen will bound at this region. The same diagram you can see here. MHC class 1 will have alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3 genes and beta 2 microglobulin. Through alpha 3 it will interact with the cytotoxic T cells, TC cells, and this between region, that is alpha 1 and alpha 2 region, is the antigen binding region. And if you see MHC2 molecules, alpha 1 beta 1 region is the antigen binding region, and you can see it has alpha 1 alpha 2 subunit and beta 1 and beta 2 subunit. Beta 2 subunit is involved in the interaction with T helper cells. So we need to know some of the differences between the class 1 MHC and class 2 MHC. So class 1 MHC, it has alpha chain and beta 2 chain. Alpha chain will be 45 kilodaltons. Beta 2 chains will be 12 kilodaltons. Here the alpha chain will be 30 to 34 kilodaltons and beta chain will be around 29 kilodaltons. Antigen binding domain in MHC class 1 is between alpha 1 and alpha 2, and in class 2 MHC it will be between alpha 1 and beta 1. So the protein antigens length will be in MHC class 1, it will be 8 to 10 amino acids, and MHC 2 it will be 13 to 18 amino acids. Peptide binding cleft, okay, floor formed by beta sheets and side via helices blocked at both the ends, and here it will be open at both the ends. Antigenic peptide motifs involved in the binding, anchor residues located amino and carboxy terminal, presence antigen peptide 2. Class 1 MHC will present its peptide to TC cells which will have CD8 plus marker, and class 2 MHC will be presenting its antigen to T helper cell which is having CD4 plus marker. So you can see another differentiation. So the location of MHC1 is in all the nucleated cells, and MHC2 will be on the surface of antigen presenting cells like B cells, dendritic cells and macrophages. And the gene that code for MHC1 will be HLA ABC, and for 2 it is DPDQDR. Structure you know, for MHC1 you have alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3 subunit and beta 2 microglobulin. MHC2 you have alpha 1, alpha 2 and beta 1, beta 2. Antigen type will be for MHC1 endogenous, MHC2 it will be exogenous. And the size of the antigen will be for MHC1 8 to 10 amino acids, for MHC2 13 to 18 amino acids. Antigen binding left will be alpha 1, alpha 2 in MHC1, alpha 1, beta 1 in MHC2. The interaction between the T cells region will be in MHC1 alpha 3 and MHC2 beta 2. And the T cells to which it actually interacts is for MHC1 it is TC cells with CD8 plus marker, and for MHC2 it is T helper cells with CD4 marker. I have made a star here because this is a master slide. This slide contains all the information you have to know in MHCs, and from this slides you will get so many questions. So this is a master slide. You can, if you want, take a screenshot also. Okay, so this is another differentiation between class 1 MHC and class 2 MHC. So the MHC class 1 molecule will have, you know, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 subunit and beta 2 microglobulin. MHC class 2 will have alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1 and beta 2. The types of APCs that will be MHC1, all the nucleated cells, here it will be APCs. Nature of the antigen present, this one is endogenous and here it is exogenous. Size of the peptide for MHC class 1 is 8 to 10 amino acids. For MHC class 2 is 13 to 18 amino acids. And this is responsive to TC cells. MHC1 is responsive to TC cells and MHC2 will be presenting its antigens to T helper cells. Okay. That is all the important things you guys have to know. So now we are going to learn about antigen presentation and processing. Okay, antigen processing and presentation we are going to learn. So what happens is you have an exogenous antigen which is antigen from outside that will bind to the receptor and it will go inside the cell. This will be processed. Processing means the antigen will be degraded into small particles, okay, smaller subunits of amino acids like from 13 to 18 amino acids like that. And when it is broken down, this is called as processing and it will be presented using MHC2 molecule here like this. MHC2 molecule will present this antigen, and since MHC2 is there, it will be recognized by T helper cell. So this is T helper cell with CD4 marker. Interaction will be between CD4 and MHC2. You know this cell, the cell where the processing and presentation is happening is called as antigen presenting cell. Okay. And how does the degradation take place? The degradation takes place by using endolysosomal pathway, which means when it comes inside, when the antigen is coming inside the cell, it will be in the form of an endosome, vesicle bound. That vesicle will bind with lysosome. It will fuse. Due to low pH in lysosome, the degradation of molecules will happen and the processing will happen. The bigger peptide will be broken down into smaller fragments of 13 to 18 amino acids. Okay, so antigen which are endogenous, okay, that will undergo proteasomal degradation and you will get 8 to 10 amino acid sequences and that will be presented using MHC1 molecule by all the nucleated cells to the T C cells, that is cytotoxic T lymphocytes. So first let's study about the MHC1 which will be processing endogenous antigens and MHC1 will be present in all the nucleated cells. So you have, for example, a misfolded protein, which is an endogenous antigen. So that will undergo proteasomal degradation, where the proteins will be fragmented into 8 to 10 amino acid sequence. That is the requirement here. That will be transported to the endoplasmic reticulum using a transporter. Okay. So MHC1 will be present in the endoplasmic reticulum. You have to know this, very important. MHC1 is present in endoplasmic reticulum. MHC1 assembly will be taking place along with this antigen and a complex formation will take place. That is MHC1 plus antigen. So this complex will be formed. Okay. This complex will be packed inside a vesicle. Okay, this complex will be this complex will be packed inside a vesicle and from the endoplasmic reticulum it will go to Golgi. Okay, from Golgi it will go to the plasma membrane. Before going to the plasma membrane, its vesicle will be removed and only MHC1 and antigen will be present exocytosed. Exocytosed means it will be sent out and it will be present in the plasma membrane. Okay, this MHC1 molecule will be present in the plasma membrane and it will be presenting the antigen to the TC cells, which is present extracellular, okay, TC cells, and interaction between MHC1 and TC cells is using the CD8 plus marker. Very simple pathway. Misfolded protein you have, which is an endogenous antigen, undergoes proteasomal degradation where you will get 8 to 10 amino acid sequence which will be transported to a ER, that is endoplasmic reticulum using a transporter. In endoplasmic reticulum you will find MHC1. The MHC1 and antigen will form a complex and this complex will be packaged in a vesicle and it will be going from ER to the Golgi where the vesicle will be removed. Then MHC1 will go to the plasma membrane and it will be presenting antigen to the TC cells and the interaction will take place using CD8 plus marker. So this is another diagram which explains the same thing. You can see here you have endogenous protein that will undergo proteasomal degradation. You can see such a long protein is undergoing proteasomal degradation where small peptides are found. These will be sent to the endoplasmic reticulum where you will have MHC1 molecules. So MHC1 molecules along with the antigen will go to the Golgi. To secretory vesicles, it will go to the plasma membrane and it will be exocytosed. Okay, during the process of exocytosis, you can see MHC1 is present here. MHC1 will be present here and it will be presenting the antigen like this. The red color is the antigen. So next we are going to talk about is MHC2 which will be presenting exogenous antigen which will be 13 to 18 amino acids and MHC2 will be mostly present on antigen presenting cells. Okay, so antigen is seen by the antigen presenting cell. So endocytosis of antigen via vesicle. Endocytosis means uptake. Uptake of the antigen via vesicles will be there and it will fuse together to form an endosome. Okay, it will be fusing to form an endosome. It will mature to late endosome where the pH will be more acidic. After this, this endosome will fuse with lysosome. You know, lysosome will have different kind of hydrolytic enzymes. And in the lysosome, the peptide, okay, the antigen will be broken down into smaller fragments of like 13 to 18 amino acids, okay, in endolysosome complex. After this, what will happen is the endolysosome and MHC2 vesicle will fuse. MHC2 will be present as a vesicle, and from where it is found, MHC2 will be assembled in the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, but alpha 1 and beta 1 will be blocked. Okay, alpha 1 and beta 1 will be blocked so that the antigens, endogenous antigens does not bind to this. For that reason, this will be blocked by CLIP. CLIP is a protein that is blocking the alpha 1 and beta 1 unit of the MHC2 so that the endogenous antigens does not come and bind here, and only exogenous antigens should bind here. So it will be present in endoplasmic reticulum, it will be assembled there. Then it will be released from the endoplasmic reticulum using a vesicle, and it will go to a Golgi. In the Golgi, it will be made a vesicle, and this is how MHC2 will be present in a vesicle. So MHC2, the clip block will be removed. Okay, the clip block will be removed, and the antigen here, exogenous antigen will be bound to MHC2. Now it will be exocytosed to the plasma membrane. In the plasma membrane, MHC2 will be present and it will be presenting the antigen, and this will be encountered by the T helper cells which will have CD4 markers, and using this CD4 marker it will interact with the MHC2 cells. Okay. So a bacterium will be engulfed by the phagocytosis into a dendritic cell, and it is encased in a phagosome. Next, it will fuse with lysosome, and the bacteria will be digested, and the fragments will be broken down, the protein antigenic fragments. Then it will be presented on MHC2 molecules. It is a very simpler diagram. The process is this big. You can see here step by step I have written. If you want, you can take a screenshot of the process. Okay. So this is a simpler version. Okay, so I hope you guys would have understood about the MHC and antigen presenting and processing. We saw MHC1, MHC2 antigen processing and presentation in today's class. I hope it is a very simple one. I actually gave you handwritten notes also for you to easily understand and remember the pathway. Okay. If you are a CSIR net aspirant and are interested in taking subscription for an academy, you can do that. And for discount, you can use referral code Neha, and after subscription you can follow Neha Taneja ma'am for clearing your CSIR net exam in the first attempt. If you have any queries, you can contact us. Like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. Thank you so much and have a nice day.